Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and today's reading is going to be looking at the Twin Flame Collective. I have laid out a spread, and so let's go straight to the bottom of the deck. We have got Four of Swords, recovering from heartbreak, or just recovering in a general way, perhaps. I'm going to take the one underneath it and the one beneath that as well. Okay, so we now have Four of Swords, Judgment, and the Eight of Cups. I think what this is saying is that Judgment is saying it's time that you were recovering or recovered from maybe the heartbreak of the connection. And I say maybe the heartbreak because this connection feels like it's in separation. And so Judgment is saying it's time to recover from that, or you should have recovered from that by now. And the Eight of Cups is saying time to move away from this recovery period, perhaps. So if your connection is in separation and you've been heartbroken, then it would suggest to me that your period of recovery is ending, and Judgment is saying it needs to end and you need to move yourself on or away from the feeling of being heartbroken and having to recover. The Eight of Cups is sort of sadly giving up, really. Sadly recognising that things aren't changing and moving away quietly. It's not making a song and dance. It's just quietly retreating from a situation. So if you've been separated for a long time or a longish time and you've been heartbroken, it's time to leave these feelings behind. Judgment is here to say there is something else coming in for you. If you're a twin in separation, it could be that maybe that wasn't a real twin, perhaps. Maybe that was a false twin flame. And maybe a real one's coming in. Judgment is here to say, let this go. So it'll be interesting to see how the remainder of this reading pans out. Judgment's an angel, so that's guidance that you're being given. It's a gift, really, of guidance. At the centre of the reading, we have Page of Rods. This is normally good news. It's some sort of message. What is crossing that is the Ace of Swords. Well, this is the Ace of Swords is the divinely presented gift of truth and victory. Perhaps you've been waiting to hear from somebody for quite a long time and you haven't received that because it isn't the true connection. Well, it's really interesting because before I said that this might not have been a real connection, I did not think that that was what this reading was going to say at all. I really thought this was just going to be an update on where things are. But now I'm wondering, because we've got these are very clear thinking, clear feeling, clear acting cards. We have the Sword of Truth and we have the wake up call. What is it you need to wake up to? Well, you need to wake up to the fact that maybe this wasn't the true connection you thought it was. Possibly. Which is why, if you've been waiting for a message, it's not coming in. Maybe. Well, let's continue. We might come back here, I think. On the face of things, it's the Ten of Swords. This is an ending. There's always a new horizon in the background. But to all intents and purposes, this connection is dead. Wow. Okay. In the underneath position, we have the Devil. And so maybe this connection was not what you thought it was. The Devil is obsession. It can also be oppression. It's also the card of Capricorn. So if you've been dealing with a Capricorn in the past that you thought you had a twin flame connection with, that you've had to leave or you've been heartbroken over, perhaps it wasn't the real thing. It's quite a... Now, I thought that was going to feel upsetting, but it really doesn't. It feels quite releasing in a way. Perhaps it was just an obsessive energy that has taken a long time to go. Maybe that wasn't the real deal. I mean, there is some serious sexual chemistry here for sure. Let's get a clarifier for the devil. Well, I've taken two actually. 10 of Pentacles, you thought it was going to deliver you everything that you wanted. You thought it was going to be your happy ever after. And 4 of Cups, not having what you want and not wanting what you have. It has not delivered. And now you've been left feeling like you've got nothing other than a sort of uncomfortable feeling of, I've got to let this go. But it could be that you've had this person and feelings of heartbreak on your mind for a really long time, I think, which is why Judgment is stepping in to say, time to let it go, time to move on. The Devil is a bit of a strange card, really. In lots of ways, it's negative. It can be talking about the stick to beat yourself with. It can be talking about feeling oppressed or obsessed or uncomfortable. It's a feeling of being uncomfortable. Perhaps you were hoping that this was going to be the connection that would deliver you your happy ever after. But there was something slightly uncomfortable about the fact that that hasn't happened, or about the fact that even if you did get together, perhaps it was not going to make for a comfortable future, I think. And so actually for quite some time, I think you've been thinking about whether it actually is or was what you wanted. So even if it had been presented to you as this is the outcome for your happy ever after, I'm not sure you'd have been happy. So in a way, I think the Devil here is a bit of a blessing. I think it's sort of reminding you that this situation that you were hoping was going to turn good and go long term, it's reminding you it was always going to be very difficult and it might not have meant for a comfortable ride. Now, I know that's part of the twin flame journey. And so, you know, if you are absolutely certain that that was your twin flame and you still want it to be, then we'll take the view that the fact that it has not come into connection has not left you yet. You're still in that obsessive energy of thinking about the other person all the time. It has not materialized yet. And so there's two ways of looking at this. Either you're feeling like it's time you left this situation because it probably wasn't a twin flame, or you're being shouted at by Judgment to say, wake up. Even if this was a twin flame, it was never going to be easy. And so you're left feeling like you don't know where you are. Whatever you want, you can't have, and what you've got, you don't want. So you're left in limbo, feeling like you're getting absolutely no closer to your happy ever after, and still not being able to find the truth of the situation. Well, in the past, we have Strength. It's been a struggle. This has been difficult. That's why we have the 4 of Swords. You have been trying to get over this pairing and you have not really managed it up until this point, because don't forget, this is the sword of victory and clarity, and Strength is in the past. So it has been a struggle. That does not mean to say it's going to continue, because this is in the past. So that's a good place to find strength. And in the future, we have the 4 of Pentacles. Not so great. Clinging on too tightly to things that no longer suit or serve you. Yeah, it's more or less what I was just saying. So let's get a clarifier for the 4 of Pentacles. Temperance. Temperance is the card of balance. You've got to be a bit careful here. If you continue to put your eggs in the basket of this is a twin flame connection and this is the one I want, you're going to start to feel more and more uncomfortable and unbalanced in that feeling, I believe. This reading is for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and it's important during that time that you don't lose your equilibrium in terms of clinging on to something that really does not suit you anymore and it's time to let go of. That's what Temperance is saying here. So we've got 2 angels out and they are both here trying to guide you away from clinging on too tightly to something that is not right for you anymore, is what it really feels like. In the personal position, we have the 10 of Wands. This is our second 10. This is the end. You've reached the end in a personal way. We've already reached the end in a very obvious way, which we had crowning us before, the 10 of Swords. It looks very dramatic. It's really just knowing you've come to the end with something. The 10 of Wands is slightly different. It's the ability to lay down a heavy burden, something that has been a problem in the past, or something that you have struggled with. And we've already talked about the fact that there has been a struggle in the past with the Strength card there. And we know that in the future, you're being guided into a better, balanced way of living, where you are not clinging on too tightly to things that don't serve you anymore. So in a personal way, it's looking like you've reached the end. And I think this is coming in the next 4 to 6 weeks, as I said. In the home position, we have the 7 of Swords. I'm actually just drawn to the Ace of Swords here. If we add 7 and 1 together, we get 8 of Swords. You're stuck. The other thing is the 7 of Swords is the card of secrets and lies, really. And so if you've had a connection or liaison, some obsessive energy with somebody from the past that you've been struggling to let go of, it's entirely likely that that was a secret. And do you remember I said earlier on that it looked like it was going to be very difficult to get you into the actual outcome that you wanted? Well, particularly if it was a secret, and the secret is at home. So this is something that you could not allow into your home or could not be made public for some reason. And as I said before, there is an element of being stuck here. It doesn't really matter what you do. You're not going to be able to make this connection work in such a way that it's going to bring you everything that you're looking for, particularly if it was secret to start with. In the hopes and fears position, we've got the 5 of Pentacles. This is the card of not having anything at all. The 4 of Cups is not having what you want or not wanting what you have. It's slightly different. The 5 of Pentacles is lack. It's not having enough finances. It's not having a situation that you want. It's not having the life that you want in this case. Being left out in the cold. The fear here is that it's always going to be like this. That it's got, in fact, these two cards come together. It's got to be secret or you can't have it. Now, neither of those is ever going to bring you the happy ever after that you want. So I believe you're being advised to let this go. If this is ringing bells with you, if this is, sounding like it's your situation, I think you're being advised to let it go. Let's just take another card for the 5 of Pentacles. And we have the King of Pentacles. The masculine that you want, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, is not currently in your life. You have not got the masculine that you want. You're hoping for the masculine that you want, but you're fearing you're never going to have him. Yeah, well, I think we'll take another clarifier to go with that King of Pentacles. Actually, I'll just take the 2 at the bottom of the deck. And we've got 5 of Wands, other people getting in the way. Other people's opinions is what has kept the two of you apart. And so that's the 5 of Wands, and we have the 4 of Wands, which is the twin flame card. So it could well be that this is a true twin flame connection, but it could also be that other people have made it impossible. It's not possible to have the connection that you want. There isn't a way to get the masculine that you want, the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn masculine that you want in your life. Other people have made it so that it can't be. It cannot be. So going back to what I said at the start, where I said it might not have been a true twin flame connection. Well, if it is a true twin flame connection, then one person has got to really step up, and that person has to be the masculine. The masculine has to step up, and he has to allow this connection to develop fully. Otherwise, both parties are going to be left in this feeling of Five of Pentacles, lacking what you want because of other people. Now, if the masculine does not do that, if he does not step up into King energy in order to bring the twin flame connection back, then the fear is, that is the fear. The fear is that you'll never be back in connection. The hope is that you can be back in connection. The hope is that this is a true twin flame connection. Well, is it? Is it a true one or not? At this point, I'm not sure that it matters whether it's true or not. I think the thing that matters is that one person knows that they have to do something. There should be communication coming in and a chat about the future and the truth. Don't forget, the Ace of Swords is the sword of victory, and the Page of Rods is a conversation. It's normally a good conversation. I believe what it's saying is that the masculine really needs to wield the sword of truth and come clean about how he feels. Maybe he needs to come clean to other people in order to bring this connection properly out in the open. Maybe. If he doesn't, I'm pretty certain that we're going to be staying in the feeling of lack. At the outcome, good news, we have the Six of Pentacles. So progression through the numbers is really good in the tarot. And we've gone from the 4, which is clinging on to something that possibly doesn't suit or serve you, to the 5, which is not having what you want, to the 6, which is a shared energy. This is the energy of reciprocity. This is equality. This is balance. So where we were not feeling balanced, where Temperance was desperate to try and bring you back into balance, where you have not had what you want, now we have the balancing of energy at the outcome here. And what came with it is the Three of Swords. To me, this says that both parties are as injured by this parting as each other. You both feel the same. You're both heartbroken. And don't forget, this was where we started, was the Four of Swords, was trying to recover from heartbreak, trying to move on, trying to feel better. I'm not sure that either of you are managing to do that terribly well. It feels like both parties feel the same, and yet you're still not in reconnection. Let's have another card to clarify at the outcome. So it's not really clear to me what's going to happen here. What's clear is that whether this is a true twin flame connection or not, you both feel the same. Wow, 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 wow. Unbelievable. Goodness me. Okay, I had these 3 cards in the weekly love reading as well, and they've just all fallen out together. We have the Eight of Wands. That is the card of communication. That is Cupid's arrows. Good news. We have the Six of Wands. That is victory after a battle. And we have death, which is a big sweeping change. So we've gone right round in a big circle here, right back to the start, where we wanted to have some communication coming in, but it wasn't coming in. It wasn't coming in because one person in this connection was not able to face the truth. That period of time is ending. You've both been trying to recover. And one of you at least has been guided strongly to leave this connection in the past, which has been very difficult, I think, for you. Very difficult to leave in the past. You don't have what you want, and what you want you haven't got. And that's a really unpleasant energy. The connection to you was feeling impossible. The obsessive energy was oppressive and making you feel like you were never going to get to the happy ever after that you want. You had 2 angels here guiding you into feeling more balanced and leaving things in the past that don't suit or serve you anymore. You are laying down the burdens of a secret connection that has left you lacking due to other people. The outcome is one of shared heartbreak for you, and particularly a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn masculine. If you've been in connection with one of them, I think they are realising, they are recognising that the time is now to do something about this connection once and for all. If this is a true twin flame connection, then that masculine needs to step up and sort things out. And I believe that is what is going to happen, because a big sweeping change is coming in and it's bringing victory. Now, I'm just not quite sure what the victory here is. If you're looking to come back into connection with a twin flame, then that twin flame partner needs to step up and reconnect. That could be victory. If you're wanting to move on from a twin flame connection or a false twin flame connection, then I believe you'll manage that, because death is a very big sweeping change that is coming through. Bottom of the deck now, we have the Five of Swords. This is choosing heartbreak. This connection was broken by one of you, even though you didn't want to break it. And it wasn't because you didn't like the person or love the person or want to spend time with them. It's because you could not see how to make a future. And I believe that is still quite pertinent. Put all the cards back together and have one last shuffle and see what else we need to know. You don't feel like you have what you want, but the Two of Cups is still standing up in the background. There is a possibility to come into connection. Well, here we are. There is a possibility of coming back into connection with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn masculine. This is big love. Yeah, the cards split and we have the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn masculine and the Ace of Cups, which is big new love. So it feels like if you have been in a connection with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn masculine, that masculine is going to be taking a step forward, I believe, because this is love. This is love. I think the situation's been heartbreaking, and I think one of you actually chose the heartbreak. And now is the time to come forward with a genuine offer of love. Well, an interesting reading, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energy more easily, which will help me to do more accurate readings for you and your situation in the future. And if you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. But until the next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.